Open the hood of anything built in 2026 and you won't find an engine. You'll find a sealed plastic coffin bolted shut with screws they don't want you to have. This isn't progress. It's a calculated campaign to make sure the only person allowed to touch your car is the one holding your credit card. Number 1. The serialized part trap. Let's start with the trick that turned your car into a bouncer at its own door. Years ago, if a taillight or a door module gave out, you drove to the salvage yard, handed over a few bucks, and bolted a working one in. Copper, plastic, done. Try that on a modern truck and the machine slaps your hand away. Manufacturers now stamp a hidden digital fingerprint inside individual components. And the second you install a used one, the central computer scans that code, sees it isn't on the factory's approved list, and refuses to let the part function. The hardware is flawless. The wiring is perfect, but the software has decided you don't have permission. To make it work, you have to haul the vehicle to a dealer and pay for an hour of labor so a technician can plug in a laptop and grant your own part the right to exist. They didn't make repair safer. They just kept the password for themselves and started charging admission. And the entire point is to strangle the used parts economy and funnel you toward brand new components at whatever price they feel like naming. Number 2. The engineered blockade. Before they locked the code, they booby-trapped the metal. The industry calls it packaging efficiency. Be honest about what it really is, a wall built between you and your own machine. Consider the humble headlight bulb. On an old pickup, it was a 30-second job with bare hands. On a lot of new vehicles, you have to peel out the wheel well liner or strip the front fascia just to get a finger on it. Then there's the dipstick, quietly deleted on countless modern transmissions, so you can no longer check your own fluid, you just pray a hidden sensor is telling the truth. And when that sensor lies, the repair bill isn't a sensor, it's a transmission. But the ugliest example is the cab-off job. On some heavy-duty trucks, the engine is crammed in so violently that reaching a common gasket means unbolting the entire cab and hoisting it off the frame. A task that used to be a lazy Saturday in the driveway is now a $4,000 invoice, because you cannot do it without a lift the size of a garage. They blame aerodynamics. That's the cover story. The real goal is for you to stare into that cramped, plastic-wrapped bay, feel your stomach drop, and reach for your wallet. Number 3. The battery ransom. You're probably thinking there's one job they can't take from you, swapping a dead battery. Think again. A huge number of new cars run a battery management system that has to be formally introduced to any new battery you install. Buy one off the shelf, drop it in yourself, and the car simply refuses to acknowledge it exists. The charging system keeps treating the fresh battery like the worn-out one it replaced, pumping in the wrong voltage until your brand new $200 unit is cooked within weeks. Quick pause here. If this is making your blood boil, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this investigation reach more people getting squeezed the same way. To stop that from happening, the new battery has to be registered to the car's brain, and that registration only happens one place: the service counter, where they charge you a fee to click a single button. They took the easiest maintenance task on earth and turned it into a toll. Number 4. Patient Zero, the tractor war. To understand where this all began, you have to look at the farm, not the freeway. Farmers were the first ones ambushed. They'd sink $500,000 into a tractor, and then a $50 sensor would hiccup in the middle of a field and the whole machine would freeze solid. The farmer could physically swap that sensor with a wrench in 10 minutes flat, but the software flat out refused to acknowledge the repair until a factory technician drove out and blessed the machine with a laptop. Picture standing in your own field during harvest, bleeding thousands of dollars an hour, waiting for a stranger to grant you permission to operate equipment you already paid for. The car companies watched that unfold, saw how much money it printed, and copied the playbook wholesale. That's exactly why your truck now drops into limp mode. Not because anything is actually broken, but because one reading drifted slightly out of range and the manufacturer would very much like to see you at the service center. Number 5. Your car is now a subscription. Here's where the mask slips completely. The endgame was never just repair money, it's turning your car into a monthly bill. Manufacturers figured out they don't make enough selling you the vehicle a single time, so now they want to sell it to you again every 30 days. One automaker floated charging drivers a monthly fee to switch on heated seats that were already bolted into the car at the factory. Another tried gating remote start behind a subscription on a key fob you already owned. Sit with the nerve of that for a second. You bought the seat. You own the heating coils inside it. You own the fob in your pocket. And they still tried to drop a digital toll booth between you and the property in your own driveway. That's not engineering, that's a shakedown, an attempt to reshape the automobile into a streaming service where the features you paid for can be switched off the instant you stop paying the ransom. Number 6. The underground fights back. So is the driveway mechanic finished? Not dead, but driven into the shadows. There's a booming gray market growing around this fight, and it's spreading fast. Farmers are quietly buying jailbroken firmware from overseas to crack open their own tractors. Independent shops are running bootleg diagnostic software just to slip past the factory locks and do the jobs the dealers hoard. And ordinary people are clinging to 20- and 30-year-old vehicles at almost any cost, refusing to trade real ownership for a rolling computer that answers to somebody else. It's a rebellion built out of stubbornness and duct tape, and it's the clearest proof yet that people can feel exactly what's being taken from them, even when the manufacturers insist it's all for their own good. Number 7. The verdict: you don't own it. And finally, the hard truth nobody at the dealership wants to say out loud. If you sign for a brand new 2026 vehicle, you are not the owner. You are the primary user of a data harvesting device that legally still answers to the corporation that built it. They own the software, they own the parts logic, they own the repair. But you are not out of moves because you have exactly 2 left. The first is political. Get behind right-to-repair legislation in your own state and force these companies to hand back the keys to your own machine. If this investigation opened your eyes even a little, do me a favor and subscribe, because this fight is only getting bigger and you'll want to see where it goes next. The second is simpler and entirely in your hands. Buy the old iron. Buy a truck whose hood opens to reveal an actual engine instead of a plastic lid, where a switch is just a switch and not a locked computer node. They sealed the hood and they buried the software, but the one thing they can never confiscate is your right to walk away from the ransom. Keep the old machines alive and never let anyone convince you that you're forbidden from fixing what you already own. I want to hear from you. What's the most outrageous repair bill or lockdown feature one of these companies has ever hit you with? Drop the story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're ready to keep fighting the war on DIY, hit that like button and subscribe so the next investigation lands right in your feed.